Come join the Geek Drum. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be talking about Titans Season 4, Episode 9, entitled, Dude, Where's My Gar? This has to be one of the best episodes that Titans has ever done. It's getting extremely high praise from me, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode simply for the fact this episode plays with your perspective and your mind so much. If you have not seen it, please go watch it before you finish this video because this video will be heavy on spoilers. I'm warning you now, this is not a spoiler-free video. The episode has been out since midnight for some people, probably 3 a.m. for others. I just finished watching it right now. It's about 10 o'clock, and I did my best to avoid spoilers all day long. But hey, it is what it is. This episode was phenomenal. I highly recommend it for anybody, even if you're not a Titans fan. This episode was top tier Titans, 10 out of 10. I don't even really have to break this episode down, guys. The episode was literally just Gar and Freedom Beast in the red the entire time, just playing between time and space and the multiverse. That's literally all it was. It was Freedom Beast teaching Gar about the red, about where his powers come from, about how they tie him to other people like Animal Man and like Vixen, who both got name drops. But the thing we learn here is that Gar is like one of the most powerful users of the red. Freedom Beast wants him to relieve him as, complete guardian of the red. But if you want to do that, it comes about the whole thing of you have to be alone. And that was like a heavy theme in the episode. We see when Gar is going on his little drug trip, whatever little cocktail that Freedom Beast gave him. It made him trip out a little bit. And he ended up in the Titans RV talking to Rachel, talking about, Rachel was saying like, we don't really need you like that. Then boom, we jump. We see Jinx. He's basically talking to her from the dead. And she did say, maybe this is the start of my revival. Will we see Jinx again before the end of the season? That suit was too high quality to be made just to be a one-off and get killed off. She wore it twice, technically. One's alive and one's dead, I guess. I don't know. I want to see more Jinx. I really liked her, but that's neither here nor there. She basically tells him the same thing. Like, there's so much more that you can do. But that was really all Freedom Beast just basically trying to get him to give up being with the Titans. He's not meant to be the Titans Beast Boy. He's meant to be the Changeling. He's meant to be so much more. I loved that, they did that name drop of his classic comic book name, the Changeling. This episode was great. Ryan K. Potter, the guy that plays Beast Boy, he had so much input in this episode. He helped write it with Jeff Johns. Great, great, great. I have no gripes about this episode. I just wish that some of the cameos at the end were a little bit longer. When we first start out the episode, though, we see a young Gar. Now, I was wondering why we were seeing that. It seemed like a flashback. It was technically a flashback, but it was Gar's memory. And we keep going back to that young Gar being lost in the zoo, by himself in front of the gorilla cage, in front of the ape cage. And that seemed like a overall theme because then we find out that Freedom Beast wants Gar's help with this lab that has been, experimenting on these apes that have anthrax. They're experimenting on them while they're still alive. The helmet basically allows Freedom Beast to hear the screams. And, he has a whole bunch of other powers and abilities. We see that he can fuse animals together, and he made a freaky bat-lion hybrid. But not only can he fuse animals together, apparently he can do it to humans as well, because we see him fuse a doctor and a sick, dying ape together. That was one of the creepiest but yet coolest things that I've ever seen on Titans. I had no problems with that. It was cool to see. The after thing of like it being a white ape was kind of creepy. I wish this train would shut up. As we're going through the episode, we do find out that, like I said it towards the beginning of the video, they have been in the red the entire time. Now, Gar not being in full control of it, he doesn't realize this. They have an amazing fight scene, two amazing fight scenes, one with just Freedom Beast, beating the living crap out of these soldiers that busted into his cave on the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, and another one with Gar and Freedom Beast fighting their way through the laboratory to get to the main lab and where they find the doctor and the sick ape on the table. Now, Beast Boy turned into what seemed like a eagle, a tiger, and a gorilla. He seems to have full control of his powers. We also find out that the reason Gar just turns into green animals is because his favorite color is green. So I know everybody wanted, a fully green Beast Boy, but hey, we're not going to get that. They gave an explanation to why he turns into green animals. That's the power that he has over the red. I think that that's really cool. A really cool in-universe explanation. That's really cool. I mean, what can you do, guys? It's this was a well-written and thought-out episode. One of the best of Titans. Now, as we progress through this, that's when we find out Freedom Beast, real motives. And he shows him that Niles Calder basically is responsible. Well, not basically. Niles Calder, the Chief, we know the guy is a piece of crap. We know that from Doom Patrol. In any universe, the Chief is a piece of crap. We know he is behind the sickness that took out Gar's parents just so he can have another person to add to his Doom Patrol. The Chief is behind the lab. This is the Chief's lab. Now, that blew Gar's mind. He's wondering why Freedom Beast is trying to show him this, why he's showing him this, and he's showing him like not even the Doom Patrol, not even the Titans, they're masters of destruction or whatever he called them. He's saying like you can't depend on anybody. You have to be alone so you can be 100% devoted to the red. Gar says he will take over the red. He will, do what he has to do, but he's not going to give up the people that he loves. That's when he takes off through the red by himself. We see him talking to his younger self, telling them that he'll have friends, he'll never be alone again. And that's when he takes his trip through the multiverse. And through that, we see him run into Stargirl. But before that wonderful, wonderful, but short interaction, I wish it was longer. I loved every single second of it because Breck as Stargirl, as Courtney, is a treasure, is a jewel. I wish we could have more time with her, but sadly, her show has also come to an end. Before that, we see some lightning, and when the lightning started happening, I'm like, what's going on here? We see none other than Grant Gustin's Flash in the new costume with the gold boots. He's running, and the lightning is what knocks Gar into, onto Earth 2. And then that's when we see him take back off into the red. He's trying to get to his family. Now, whether he meant the Doom Patrol or whether he went taking back to his friends, the Titans, trying to get back to his own universe, I'm guessing that Freedom Beast is from his universe, or Freedom Beast may be from another universe because he did not jump directly into the portal with Freedom Beast. But just a few of the cameos that we still do see. We see Teen Titans Go Gar, and he looked at that TV screen and was extremely confused. I'm guessing he recognized that that was a version of him. I hope he did. We also see Grant Morrison, one of the great, great, great comic book writers of this age, the master of the multiverse, as they call him. He created a lot of the classic stories and characters that we love today. It was good to see him, in universe. There's a multiverse where the comic book writers are, their own thing. That's cool. That was cool to see. And he saw Gar. He was like, I see you. Can you see me? And they waved at each other. That was a nice, nice little moment. We also hear Kaylee Cuoco's, I hope I pronounced that right. We hear her Harley Quinn. We hear Cesar Romero's Joker. And then that's when we end up. Oh, I cannot forget. We see Swamp Thing as well. I cannot forget. We see Swamp Thing from the short-lived HBO Max show. Very short-lived. But it was good to see him. It was very good to see him. It brings me back to thinking about how they handled all these, put in cameos back during Crisis when the Earths were brought back. So it reminded me of that. That was cool to see. So the biggest part of the episode was the fact that it seems like this is a part 1 to something. I don't know if I missed that information, but it seems like next week we will be seeing the rest of the Doom Patrol, or at least Cliff and Negative Man. We should be seeing them next week. And we finally get to see Cyborg interacting with Beast Boy. The one thing that we have been wanting for a very, very, very long time. They may not be from the same Earth, but they will be interacting. Guys, I loved every single minute of this episode. I hope you did too. Let me know down below in the comment section what you thought about this. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on the alerts, like this video so you never miss another one so I can stay in this algorithm. Guys, like I said, let me know down below what you think about this episode. If you loved it, if you hated it, what you wanted to see more of, just let me know. Let's have a discussion down below, and I will catch you next time. All right, guys.